What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike, the Everyday Money Guy, and if this is your first time here at the channel, consider subscribing to increase your wealth, success, and your financial freedom. Guys, today, like in almost any other video you see on here, we're going to talk about saving and investing money, and specifically today, we're going to get past some lies and half-truths that you tell yourself as excuses not to save money. I am guilty of this myself. I would lie to myself and say that there was just no money left in the budget to save or invest when I was much younger, and that, has had a negative impact on my total wealth up to this point. And if you look at the average American in the United States, there's several studies have shown that most people don't even have $1,000 to their name in a savings account or something. In the case that there is an emergency or they need to make some sort of repair to their car or home, they end up turning to credit cards or short-term loans or something like that. So if you're like me, when you were younger, you always had some excuse to kick the can down the road for saving and investing. For example, we'll start saving once we buy a house, or we'll start saving once, we pay a car off or go on vacation or whatever. And at the end of the month, there was just never any money left for you to save and invest to start to grow your wealth and have your money start working for you instead of constantly working for money. I know that there's a lot of you folks out there who are just like me and just don't make any room in your budget for saving money. But I know for a fact, because I can look back on myself and I can look at, a lot of other folks and say that everyone has some amount of money that you can save and invest for your future so you can grow your wealth and eventually be financially free. So I have a video on this channel where if you invest just $1 per day, which ends up being about $30 a month, for approximately 40 years at a 10% return, which is about the average of the S&P 500, you end up with about $500,000 off of a $1 a day investment. And I feel like almost anyone can come up with $1 per day or $30 a month. You might be able to just find that in change around on the ground or whatever. I mean, it's just $1, like I say in that video. And the thing is that even somebody making the minimum wage, which in Kentucky is $7.25 an hour, I think that you can find $1 a day, if not quite a bit more. But if you just did that very basic amount at minimum wage, 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, you end up with about a $15,000 salary. So if you had the discipline to put that money away and you never made more than minimum wage and you ended up with $500,000 at year 40, I think that would be quite a bit of money, because it would be for me, and I make quite a bit more than minimum wage. Okay, so let's say that you say to me, there is no way that I can find any wiggle room in my budget. I can't come up with $1 a day, $30 a month, $40 a month, whatever. You're gonna need to find some sort of source for that money. And one of the easiest way to do that is to cut extraneous expenses. For example, as crazy as this sounds, you can cut cable and turn that off, and that would probably be at least $60, $70 a month in savings. If you can't do that and you have premium channels, cut those out. I believe those are like $10 or $15 each, something like that. I've never had them, so I don't really know exactly. If you have streaming services, if you have a ton of them, such as like Netflix, Hulu Plus, Disney Plus, HBO Plus, or whatever it is, Spotify, Pandora, some of these things can be cut. I don't think that you would need all of them all at one time. And even if you do, it might just be something that you can sacrifice for your future. On your phone plan, if you have way too big of a phone plan for what you use for your data plan, think about scaling that back. A lot of times people don't use as much data as they think they do, and they don't need the expensive unlimited plan from one of the major carriers. In addition, you could use one of the lower cost carriers, such as Cricket or something like that, that has very comparable service to the 4 major carriers for a much lower price. If you have certain vices, such as alcohol, cigarettes, or drug use, Maybe think about either reducing or eliminating those, because not only will that free up some money for you to invest, it could also benefit you health-wise. If you have no other option, and you've exhausted all those things, think about any wasteful spending that you might do, the impulse buying, the things at the checkout line at the supermarket. Those are specifically put there to get you to spend a few more dollars in their store, as well as things like meals out, Starbucks coffees, things of that nature that are just have a tremendous drag on your finances, especially if you are trying to build your wealth over time. Additionally, if you work a job, and especially if you're a minimum wage type of employee, I would assume that you would be looking for a raise at some period of time. If you think that you've been there long enough and that you have produced enough value for whoever your employer is, consider asking for a raise. Oftentimes, employers do overlook giving raises to employees. So if you think that you deserve a raise, ask for that raise. And then instead of increasing your lifestyle with some sort of new service or product in your life, consider investing in yourself for your future by putting that money aside and letting it grow. So if you say to me, Mike, I can't wait 40 years to make $500,000 in returns in the S&P 500. $1 a day is just not going to be quick enough for me. And what I would say to that is start with whatever you have. If you can only afford $1 a day right now, do that, because it's so easy to get started at $1 a day. And then once that becomes a habit, it is easy to continue that habit just like any other habits. And then increase from there as you have the means. Either if you cancel services, if you cut back on your spending, if you succeed in getting a raise, or you change jobs or careers that allows you to make more money, or you go out and get a part-time job, whatever it is, take a little bit of that and enjoy it. But take a large portion of your newfound income, invest that into something. Either the stock market, again, like I said, the very low barrier to entry on the S&P 500, or if you're if you already have some money, maybe a piece of real estate, maybe think about starting a business. There's another video that I have on that. I'll link it in here somewhere, probably on a card here. But the key is that if you start small, you work your way up, the results will snowball, your wealth will grow, and it'll start to grow at an exponential rate, and it'll be pretty exciting. Guys, I hope you found this video informative, maybe even a little bit entertaining. The key is that almost everybody, and I'm not gonna say almost, I'm gonna say everybody has the means to invest and save some money for their future. Even if you think that you can't, if you put your head to it, I think that you can find a way. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to grow your wealth, your success, and hopefully get your financial freedom. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next time.